I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm going to start off with a repurchase, and this is from Replica. It's their By the Fireplace reed diffuser, and I believe this is my this is my fourth one. The one that I put in my bathroom is dried up, so I needed another one, and they were having a sale on the Replica website for 20% off because these aren't exactly cheap. So I was able to save some money that way. But By the Fireplace is a fragrance that I have gone through so many bottles of the perfume. It's one of my absolute favorites for the fall and the winter time. It's burnt marshmallows. It's basically how I could describe it, because who doesn't love to smell like a burnt marshmallow, right? So this guy here is made in France, and I'll just open up the box here so you guys can see what it looks like. The reed diffusers obviously come outside, and you have to put them in the bottle because otherwise it would get all over the place. But this is what the bottle looks like, and then you put the reed diffusers in there, and they do last a really long time. I got my first one, I would say, like 2 years ago. So this is gonna go in my bathroom, and it looks really pretty as well. So I got that guy right there, and then, I mean, because who wants to pay shipping? So I threw in the hand cream, and I haven't tried this just yet. I'll probably use it a little bit more going into the fall here, although my hands are getting a little dry. They've been getting a bit beat up from trimming some horses, but this here is a 1 fluid ounce, and both of these products are made in France, and this is what this guy looks like. Also just a really pretty bottle. Not a lot of product for the price tag for a hand cream. It's a 1 fluid ounce, but I'm going to enjoy using it because, again, who doesn't like to smell like a burnt marshmallow? So I got those guys from Replica. Again, that's their By the Fireplace fragrance. And then I also got the 2 items that I purchased from Camera Ready Cosmetics from the Avatar and Lethal Cosmetics collaboration. They were on back order, so it took a hot minute to get here, but they were part of the order that I did with the 4 palette bundle. But I also got this liner set, and I really like the colors of the liners. I am going to try to track down the green set, I think, as well. But this one is the Katara liquid eyeliner set. So this is what the box packaging looks like. And this guy here, I believe they're made in the PRC. I cannot find on the packaging anywhere where they're made. But I believe they're made in the PRC. The 4 eyeshadow palettes from this collection are made in the PRC as well, which I was mentioning when I hauled those ones, that this is the first time I had purchased products from Lethal Cosmetics that weren't made in Germany, because Lethal Cosmetics is a German made makeup brand. So they did kind of outsource these to the PRC, but that's fine because the products themselves are really, really great. Like the eyeshadows are outstanding. So the net weight is 5.6 grams or 0.2 ounces. And I can't tell if that's in each one or if it's in the 2 together because it doesn't specify that. And there also isn't any like color on the packaging with the amount or where it's made either. So cute packaging. I'm wearing this one right here, which is the dark blue that's not like the multi-chrome shade. And I did wear the multi-chrome yesterday, and it is a beautiful color, like super, super shiny. But for like winged liner, it did kind of throw off what a winged liner does for my eye shape. I didn't mind it though. I thought it looked pretty cool throughout the day, but I do prefer the darker one for a winged liner. So I might toy around like with some layering stuff with this guy right here, because again, the shine is really, really pretty. As far as the formulation goes, I did have to layer it a little bit because it would go on a little patchy. Granted, I do have a decently thick winged eyeliner, as we all know. And they do retain a bit of tackiness to them, which I've mentioned in the past, eyeliners that kind of have that tact because my eyes are so hooded, like the outer corner will touch my lash line. So when I blink in that corner where that wing is at, if it sticks to each other, a lot of the times it'll pull the liner off. So like when I blink, I can feel that sticking in the corner, but this particular formula isn't pulling off itself, and it's got a really good longevity. So I'll deal with that stickiness. I could take a bit of like translucent powder and like tap it over it. That would help it out a little bit, but it would also kind of tone down the color. So I just kind of been leaving it how it is. So that's kind of how I feel about the formula. It's a brush tip applicator. Really love the brush tip applicator. It's a good length. It's easy to work with. So this is the metallic one, or it's a multi-chrome, I should say. And let me tell you, it is absolutely stunning. Just because of how pretty this is, even though I probably wouldn't like be like wearing them all the time. I kind of want to get all 4 of the sets of the liners because I do quite like them. And then here is the one that I've got on today. It's just a rich, pretty blue. Like, just really, really pretty. So I went over the eyeshadow palette, which is also on my eyes, which I'll swatch in a minute. And so the blue, the formulation of that blue shimmer shade, you know, sometimes when you go over it with a liquid product, it tends to not want to stick as easily. So I put it on and then a little bit on the lid that the product will kind of like move a bit. So you need to let it dry, and then I go over it again to get that full opacity. And I think it has more to do with the 2 products trying to mesh than the actual liner itself, if that makes sense. So like it's sitting on top of another eyeshadow. So just a little note there, but I do really like these. So I'm going to track down the green one. I want to get the green one. I know these products have been kind of sold out, where Lethal Cosmetics products are sold, but again, I like these a lot. So that is the liner set in Katara right there. And then the eyeshadow palette that was part of the 4 set that was on back order is the Air Pressed Powder Palette. And this is the eyeshadow palette that I've got on my eyes today. 10.8 grams or 0.38 ounces of product in here. And as I mentioned earlier, this is made in the PRC. It does come with a sleeve on there that mimics the actual packaging. I love the color story of this. The looks that come out of here kind of remind me of the Fire and Ice palette from Nomad Cosmetics. The Nomad one was a little bit more punchy, but same kind of vibe for me. I really like this. One shade did come like super broken, and so I emailed Camera Ready, and they're going to give me a $10 gift card for that. But I tried to repress it the best I could, but I don't think I should tip it over because the whole thing might fall out. So again, the formula of this is great. It's a really nice formula. I like the ones in the, oh, I just kind of skipped one there. The other 3 palettes as well. And I do not have an issue with formulations in the PRC. They've gotten so good. And I believe it states on the packaging as well, these are cruelty free. So I'll double check that in a minute. Yeah, it says cruelty free and vegan on the back of the packaging there. And then this blue shade. This is easily a standalone for me as well. I gotta keep setting the palette down because I don't want to tip that broken shade out of there. And then this last shade, which is a matte brown, right there. So just a cool color story. I really liked how both of these liners looked when it went over this blue shimmery shadow, which I've got on the lid. Just very cool. So I really like all the products that I got from the Lethal Cosmetics and Avatar collection. So that there again is the palette in Air. And then Bare Minerals came out with a new concealer, which I was very excited about because this has got SPF 25 in it. You guys know how I feel about SPF. I like to use SPF over my entire face, both in my eye primer for my eyelids. I tap my face sunscreen underneath my eyes as well. And now I've got a concealer with SPF 25 too, because I'm outside a ton. This is the Bare Pro 16-hour wear all over skin perfecting matte concealer. Again, SPF 25, 0.25 fluid ounces of product, so you're getting a lot. And the shade that I got is Fair 100 Cool. And let me find here where this guy's made. It is made in Canada. Now I purchased this, and then after I placed my order on Ulta, I did get an email from Bare Minerals, and I was able to pick 3 shades. So I think I have 3 more shades of this concealer coming, but in the interim I do have this one. I've got it underneath my eyes today. I've been a little hit or miss in the past with Bare Minerals concealers. This formula is outstanding. It's got SPF 25, it's hydrating, even though it has that matte claim, it's not drying or anything like that underneath the eyes. I'm just really, really impressed. I think that this one here is a bit brightening for underneath my eyes, so I'm excited to get those other shades and kind of when I make it into Ulta, swatch some of the other shades, because I'm curious to see what the next shade down with a cool undertone looks like. But it's just a little bit brightening, which I'm fine with. I think that it looks really great, but I'm curious. There you go. I'm curious what a little bit deeper shade would look underneath my eyes, you know. So this is just an amazing concealer. It's got a large doe foot applicator. Again, the shade I have is Fair 100 Cool. I also really like that on the sticker on the bottom, it's just a really good concealer. And I love that it has SPF 25. I'm yet to try this as an eye primer. I've still been using my CoverGirl. I don't know if it was like out of habit that I just keep putting the CoverGirl on, you know, and forgetting to reach for this because I do want to try it as an eyeshadow primer. But I will eventually. So just an amazing concealer from Bare Minerals. That again is their new Bare Pro 16-hour wear all over skin perfecting matte concealer, SPF 25. I get good longevity out of it. I don't have any issues. I do have those drier under eyes, and it feels great underneath the eyes. So I'm very excited about this concealer. And that's actually everything that I got in that I purchased. I'm slacking on the ordering. I did get in some really great PR packages. This first one is from Sonia G and Beautylish. So she came out with the new Tradition Series Keyaki Kakishibu face set, which is an extension, I believe, with the eye set. And these brushes are just beautiful. So the brushes are sold in a set, but they're also sold individually on the Beautylish website. There are 3 of them in this collection. You've got a large fan. Like, okay, we just need to take a moment to appreciate how pretty these are. Like, look at the bevel on the handle here. Absolutely stunning. Sonia G, she's got a blog that will explain these brushes to a T, but Beautylish on the website, they also do a really extended explanation of these brushes as well. I can show you how pretty they are, how functional they are, and how much I love them. So again, this is the large fan brush. It is pinched, very, very soft. In comparison to the Niji Pro, which I actually have in use right now, I've been using it for a bronzer. And I've been using this one as bronzer since I've gotten it, but prior to that, this guy here was in use. The Niji Pro is shorter, a little bit chubbier than this guy right here. So this one's a little wispier. You get a little bit more concentrated color with the Niji Pro, but because this one's like chubby, it also blends out really well. This guy's a little bit more wispy. So I find that using a more pigmented bronzer, the wispy one kind of dusts it over the skin a little bit less concentrated than the Niji Pro does, like for comparison wise. I wanted to show those two together. This one here, because it's so like large and wispy, this one here too, I will really enjoy using the Guerlain Meteorites to buff them all over the skin. So there are some, you know, multi-purposes, and then also the shape. You can use this edge, so you just want to use one brush and wisp it on with highlighter and then bronzer. A lot of the Sonia G brushes are really multi-purpose. The amount of Sonia G brushes that I have in use at any given time is quite substantial. I've got a lot of, like, let me see. Yeah, we've got the Niji Pro that I was using. This guy here from, I can't remember the exact name of the collection, but it has the cranes on there. This is one of my favorite highlighter brushes. And then I just have several Sonia G brushes, again, in use at any given time. This is a handle from one of her latest launches, a little eye set. I love her special editions. Like, they're just so exquisite. So let me go back to the set here. This is the highlighter. Well, I'm going to call it a highlighter brush because that's how I have been using it. But again, it can be used for really like precise contouring as well as blush. Again, they're very multi-purpose, but I've used it for highlighter. It's got this nice point to it, so I can really kind of blend out into my blush as well. Very, very soft. This one is circular all the way around as well. And then you can see Sonia G right there. This guy here, I guess they do have numbers. This is the TF3 brush, and then the larger fan brush is the TF1. I just love, like, I wonder if you can like visually see or feel how that looks, right? Give you an idea. Just very, very soft. And then the third one is also circular all the way around. I've been using this one for blush, and this one is the TF2 brush right there. Just really nice precision blush. So how I've been using them, even though they're very multi-purpose, if you just like, you know, one brush for all the things, is bronzer, highlighter, and blush. So I won't be using this one since I've been using it for bronzer, for buffing all over the skin at this point, but when I re-up and like wash my brushes, which I severely need to do, I'll use this one for meteorites at some point as well too, because I do like how fluffy, soft, and wispy, and it's going to buff really well too. So while it is fluffy, it still has some structure to it, you know? So the more you push on any of these brushes like this, the more blend that you're going to get out of them, and then you can just use the tips for a more wispy kind of a blend. But just a stunning, stunning set. So these fade into that brown color. So what you're seeing there is, I mean, you're seeing some bronzer, blush, and a bit of highlight. I guess on the highlighter brush you can see best what the bristles look like, because highlighter is lighter, you know, but they do fade into that really pretty tan color there. So just a beautiful, beautiful set. Every time I get Sonia G brushes, I'm always like, do I need to buy a backup set? Like I need to have two, you know? I've done that with several of her brushes, like especially eye brushes, when they get dirty, and it takes me forever to like find the time to like bulk wash all my brushes. I get multiples so that I have clean ones handy. So a massive thank you to Beautylish and Sonia G for sending them over. It's a stunning, stunning brush set. I just love this little bevel on this handle right here. There's a slight little pinch in the center on the smaller ones as well, but very, very pretty right there. And then I've got a new brand and a new launch to share with you guys. This is By Us Cosmetics, which is a sister brand to Odin's Eye. And I adore, adore Odin's Eye products. So I was really excited when they reached out, and I was really excited that there was like a new brand. I always get excited. Doesn't even kind of matter sometimes what the launches are. I always get excited about new makeup brands. So this one here, again, is called By Us. So this little card came in there. It says By Us. Love By Us. And their first product is an eyeshadow palette. So this is the Garden Busters palette, and it launches on August 25th at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Enjoy free shipping on your first order is what it says on the Instagram post. This guy here again is called the Garden Busters palette. It's made in the PRC. There's 20 grams of product, or 0.7 ounces inside of the palette. And then here is the actual packaging. It's a little bit thicker. It's a cardboard with a magnetic closure. And then the palette inside is a little bit recessed, and you got that lip where the mirror is at on the eyeshadow palette. But it's just a really fun color story. I've actually worn every single shade in this palette, and I loved every look that I got out of it. Initially, I was like, I wonder how the pairings are, you know, going to work, because there's some quite light shades in there, but I've used the purple and the brown in the crease, and both of those are deep enough to recess like my hooded lid and stuff like that. And I've also like blended out the purple with the blue and stuff. You kind of get some really fun looks out of it. Really, really pretty eyeshadows. Like, I'm excited for this brand. I'm excited for them doing like face products, highlighters, blushes, stuff like that. So every other one you can see is a shimmer and a matte. So you got shimmer, matte, shimmer, matte, shimmer, matte. You get the idea, right? But I have really been enjoying this as well. I've had it for, I want to say like 3 weeks, and I've worn it quite a bit. I think, yeah, there were some little characters embossed. You can kind of see some of them in the shades, but for the most part, I've kind of worn them away. So like this one, it's got a little bit more of a putty texture than the other two that I had swatched. Same with this guy, it's a little bit more putty-like. Let me grab more of this green. So you can get a better idea of that one. There you go. And then these next ones. The mattes are like super pigmented and they blend out really well too. And then these last three. And you definitely get some similar vibes to Odin's Eye from the formulations. And I adore Odin's Eye products. So this is exciting. And I'm excited to see what like their next products and stuff are gonna be. Highlighters, again, blushes, bronzers, more eyeshadow. So that guy right there is new from By Us. And this is their Garden Busters palette right there. And a huge thank you to By Us Cosmetics for sending this guy over as well. And then lastly, Essence launched some new highlighters and blushes. Both of them are liquid. They're the Baby Got Glow Liquid Highlighter and the Baby Got Blush Liquid Blushes. This is the card that came inside, and it came in this big packaging here that I gotta pull these out and set this down or I'm gonna drop something. It says on the back of the card, Baby Got Blush is key for a rosy, irresistible flush, while Baby Got Glow offers a gentle, luminous glow. The soft cushion applicator and easy to blend formula allows for flawless application every time. Simply twist the applicator to open and close. Available at Ulta and online at essencemakeup.com for only $5.99. There are several products that I really love from Essence. They're super affordable. One of these that I just keep showing you guys, which the covers broke off, but this is the All About Matte powder that I use for taking down shine on my face. There are like these clips that almost look like giant clothespins and like a terry cloth inside the box as well. I forgot to kind of show that. So there are 3 highlighters and 4 blushes, and these come in like Charlotte Tilbury Glow On style packaging. They are made in Poland, and there is 0.33 fluid ounces in each of them. So let's start with these highlighters here. I've used the one highlighter and one blush to kind of get an idea of the formula, and I do have to because I set my whole face for the most part, and then pounce on with like a sponge after the fact. I've been dabbling a little bit before setting my face with some cream products, but I am such a powder girl. But I have again used these, and I do have to be careful because it's a more liquid style formula. If I go over set foundation, I have to be careful about pouncing, but mixing in with other fluid products, it would work pretty well. Granted, I use a substantial amount of sunscreen and then the foundation. So when I do use liquid on top of those liquid products, it is hard for me to kind of not separate my foundation when I do that. So again, I prefer trying to pounce over powder set foundation. Whole thing, right? I'm sure you guys understand. So let's start out with the lightest shade in the highlighters, and this is 10 Sassy in Silk. So it's got the little sponge on there, and then you twist it for your product. And then I don't want to overly squeeze it out here, which based off of all the testers and things I've seen on YouTube, the Charlotte Tilbury packaging like this gets quite messy. So that one right there, really pretty champagne, is number 10 Sassy in Silk. And then we've got 30 Breezy Bronze. So that one right there is Breezy Bronze. And the last highlighter is 20 Rose and Shine. So there's a rosy, a bronze, and a champagne in the range. Get some out of here. So that one right there is Rose and, what did I say? Rose and Shine. Oh, I get it. Rise and Shine, Rose and Shine. So those are the 3 highlighters. And then we've got the Baby Got blush, and we'll start off with number 10 called Pinkalicious. These have got great pigmentation, but quite a decent amount of fluidity to them. So this one is the pink one. You can also see the product color through there. This little window is actually clear on both the highlighters and the blushes. So let's get some of this out of here. I'm scared like it's gonna like when I squeeze it. Okay, so this one here again is Pinkalicious. Right there. And then we've got number 20, Blushin' Berry, which is a berry shade. So this one is Blushin' Berry. So yeah, it's got great pigmentation for as fluid as they are. Sometimes the more fluid the product, the more like sheer the application can be. But I think, like if you want to sheer them out, you can, you know, like that. And then we've got number 30, Dusty Rose. I knew that was going to happen. It was going to happen with at least one of them. So it squirted out on the lid there. But we'll just wipe it off right there. 30 Dusty Rose right here. That's just like way too much product that I have on my finger. So that one is Dusty Rose. And the fourth one is 40 Coral Crush. This is the one that I used, and it's a really pretty coral shade. I do not have this one on today. Let's get it right here. But I love the color of this one. Get a little bit more. Just a really pretty coral shade. So that guy is 40 Coral Crush, and those are the new highlighters and blushes from Essence. Their Baby Got highlighter and Baby Got blushes right there. And a huge thank you to Essence for sending these guys over as well. And that is everything for the haul today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.